Good evening and welcome to the Bellefleur Tire Shop Grand Falls Greenfoot Rapids pregame show. It's hockey night, which means that the Rapids are back, and this is going to be a very, very, very important game. Why is that, you ask? Because the Summerside Western Capitals are in town to face off against the Grand Falls Greenfoot Rapids for the first overall spot in the Maritime Junior Hockey League. So this is more than just a grudge match. I mean, so often we've seen Summerside face off against Grand Falls when they were in the North Division, and obviously last season, or 2 years ago rather, when they switched to the South Division. You got to see them a little bit less, but it's always entertaining games. We're going to get into the stats a little bit before we do anything else. So this is obviously going to be a very, very big game. For the Grand Falls Rapids, they're 5-0-1 on the season. Still have not lost a game in regulation. Neither has Summerside, but we're not going to talk about them right now. Nathan Blemino-Michaud leading the way with 4 goals. Zachary Michaud, the youngster, leading the way in assists with 4. And Nathan Blemino-Michaud leading the Rapids in points overall with 7. On the side of the Summerside Western Capitals, 5-0-1. They have lost in overtime, but it does not, doesn't really affect the overall records of how they've performed this season. So we're gonna take a dive into their scorers as well. Cohen Miller leading the way with 5 goals. Simon Mullen leading the way with 12 assists. And, of course, Cohen Miller with 15 points overall on the season. And then it comes to their goals for and their goals against on the season. The Rapids with 27, Summerside with 34. And then their goals against, the Rapids with 16 and Summerside with 23. Now, we talked a little bit about how early season dominance can really help you in the standings race. This is going to be one of those games where it's a crucial couple of points, especially with West Kent coming up on Sunday as well. We're going to dive into that in just a little bit too. But this is a game where you really just want to be paying attention to how you're playing, because you know that Summerside, you know that they're going to be capable of coming out and playing to the best of their abilities, making sure that all their superstars are firing at will. And on the power play, as you can see the power play numbers, Rutrow, Summerside's got 46.7% on the power play. Grand Falls has 16.7%. So, yeah, that could turn out to be a little bit of a problem. If you've been watching any of the last few games, penalties can get you into a little bit of hot water, especially with a team like Summerside, who 46% of the time will capitalize on their chances. Yeah, not good. So, that said, though, Grand Falls, even though they're second in penalty kill rankings in the division, they're still ahead of Summerside by, 2.2% or 1.2%. Now, their penalty kills are pretty dead even, which is good. But special teams wise, Summerside is just a force to be reckoned with. And I mean, honestly, you'd expect that from one of the top teams in the division, right? Man, it's going to be a real tough game to predict. And usually I'd be saying that it's going to be you're going to see me say that it's going to be a close game, or it's going to be a blowout. But this game genuinely, I think, may be one of the closest, if not the closest game that the Rapids have had all season. Reason being is because Summerside is such just a solid team up front. And looking at the way that they capitalize on their opportunities, not just on the power play, 5-on-5, like they have one of the highest scoring teams in the league right now. They're actually overall second overall in the league in goals for with 34, only trailing Schiller and, well, obviously the Lightning, one of the teams to beat in the league right now, but they have the second most goals for, I believe the third less, second most goals against though, or sorry, no, I'm completely wrong on that. Fifth overall in goals against. Grand Falls right now in first place with 16. Right? 16 goals against, which is the least in the league right now. Summerside has the 5th least. So what do all these stats mean? They may seem like just numbers, but when you look closely at it, right? And I mean, you look really, really closely at it. Through those 5 games, those are actually some big numbers. 34 goals scored in 6 games for Summerside. Oof. For Grand Falls, 27 goals in 5 games. Oof. They've only allowed 16 through 5 games. Like, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And you can try and argue about how, you know, Summerside's the top dog in the division, right? And they're first place in the league for a reason. But the thing is, you could argue on the other side of that with Grand Falls. They've had such solid goaltending. Their defense has been pretty good. Scoring, I mean, aside from the power play, 5-on-5, they're lethal. The penalty kill, they've done a better job, almost scoring on the penalty kill than they did on the power play. But at the end of the day, once that power play gets clicking, man, it's going to be a real tough team for other teams to defend. You look at the amount of chances that they've had, special teams, compared to 5-on-5. Yes, they haven't been able to convert on the power play, but they're still scoring a lot. Summerside, scoring a lot, and they're outscoring Grand Falls, but a lot more of their goals have come on the power play. Don't forget. So I guess what I'm saying is a big key to this game is going to be watch out for the power play, man. Don't take those crazy penalties that are going to result in power plays for Summerside, because you know how good they've been on the power play this year. They will score on you. It doesn't matter how good your penalty kill is. If you take those penalties and if you give them the opportunity, they will score on you. It's not even up for discussion. On the flip side of that, though, with Grand Falls, they've had a pretty stellar penalty kill. And like I mentioned, almost all of the penalties that they've taken, they've killed off. I mean, there are a couple of them that were costly, but this is a team, again, that has played terrific defensive hockey through the first couple of games of the season. Adam LaCour and Jeremy Thibodeau-Soucy have been fantastic in goal as well. Yes, you would like to see a little bit more offensive production up front, and that'll come. But defensively, man, well-oiled machine. And there's a reason why they're first place in the East Link North Division. Think of this game as the Battle of Titans, right? 2 teams that are going at it that are wanting to take that top spot in the league, not just in the division, in the league. And they will do whatever it takes to get there. So this game is going to be really interesting in terms of how these 2 teams are going to match up against each other. You look at the games that are coming up as well. This weekend for the Grand Falls Rapids, they've got West Kent too. So the schedule does not get any easier at all. But the thing is, though, too, if you can beat Summerside, you can beat anybody, realistically. Because if you can beat Summerside, you've already beat Chaleur. You know, you've already beat Edmundston earlier in the season. Not that that's a big shock. The Blizzard are struggling this year, and that's no secret. But for this Rapids group, you beat Summerside, you can beat anybody. And I think once they already kind of have that mentality that they can beat anybody, but the amount of confidence that's going to give them if they are able to beat Summerside is going to be huge. And it's going to be such a morale boost, not just for the team, but for the fans too. Man, I'm super excited to see how this game's going to go. It's going to be close. I know that I said last game was going to be close, and it kind of was. It kind of was. Up until those that score, it showed 7-4 as the final score. Okay? Now, the thing is, you could say what you want about the scoreboard being, hey, it was a high-scoring game, but it was still close. Like I mentioned, this is going to be one of the closest, if not the closest game of the season, just because you have 2 teams that are very well balanced. You have Summerside, who has an the offensive demon, and you have Grand Falls, who is that defensive mastermind, and have been able to just take every chance or most chances that every other team has given them, and just play terrific defense. So that's this game. Then we got Chaleur coming up. Or West Kent coming up, sorry. I really apologize for that one, because I said in the post-game last game with Jonah that it was Miramichi. I corrected myself this time. It is West Kent, so that's going to be a division rematch. So the last time that the Steamers were in Grand Falls, the Rapids ended up beating them and continuing their streak. Now, West Kent, again, is going to be one of those teams where they're not a pushover, right? Just like Summerside, just like Chaleur, just like, Yarmouth. These teams are not pushover teams, and the schedule does not get any easier, but that's where this team is going to rise to the occasion. And I think what they've done this season so far has really proven they can do anything. They've already beat the big dogs. They've shown that they are able to contend, and that's honestly not even up for discussion. Man, this is going to be a big, big weekend. West Kent is Sunday. Now, that's a game you're going to want to watch as well, because they're in Bucktouche for the very first time this season. They played in Grand Falls already. And, historically, on the other side of the spectrum, West Kent's had the advantage in terms of the amount of games that they've won. The other side of that is, Grand Falls has the advantage this season. You can say all you want about how the history swings in West Kent's favor, but what does this year's history say? I've heard a lot of people starting to say, in recent years, Summerside has Grand Falls' number. This is what's going to happen on this game tonight? No. History be damned. This team is a new team. It's a new era. This is a brand new Grand Falls Rapids. We are witnessing history. We've already seen them open up the season. This is the first time ever they've won 5 games to open the season. Don't forget that. This team's a powerhouse. And I think to say that they can contend with the big dogs is going to be the understatement of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the game this evening. I'm going to be up in the booth with you with the call, and hopefully things are going to go fantastic up there just as they are going to be on the ice. Then we won't see each other for about a week or so. So they are going to be on the road for 3 games. It is in West Kent or in Bucktouche on Sunday, and then they have 2 away games, one in Edmundston and then one in Miramichi on Saturday, October 11th. So that it would be Thursday, October 9th in Edmundston, Saturday, October 11th in Miramichi, and then they are back on October 12th to face off against the Yarmouth Mariners. Another South Division opponent, which is going to be tough. But the question is, are you ready? I pose this question to you in the comments. Are you all in? Because I am. And I know you should be too. If you're going to the game tonight, make some noise. This is going to be a very fun game. Super exciting. Albeit very close as well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell notification for all future content, and stay tuned to the channel for the Bellefleur Tire Shop Grand Falls Greenfoot Rapids post-game show coming up immediately after the game following the action.